Parliament currently, by unorthodox means, is controlled by the Kinyakwanza regime. The Speaker and members who have crossed the floor unceremoniously. Why would we go into the territory of the person we have disputes with? So we are talking of a process in neutral grounds. Parliamentarians negotiating neutral grounds, and behind them will be the two sides, the Azimio side and the Kinyakwanza side. So let's not try to hide behind Parliament, where the Speaker can come and tell you that if you have a dispute, he will now chair and determine which side has won. We have seen the Speaker being unable to make simple rulings, including when the party wants to de-whip. Is that the environment to negotiate? That's all that we mean. So anybody talking of nusu mukate, on a lighter note, you must tell them, in Azimio we eat whole loaves. And that is why we are saying, open the server. Ukifungua server, itaonyesha mkate ni ya nani. Mwenyewe akule peke yake. Kama ni yako kula, lakini tukikuta ni yetu, afadhali tunachukua mkate yetu. Now, why again are we talking about the server? To us, it is very important, and our leader has already pointed out, the problems our people are having are a priority. Yes. Cost of living, and I don't have to go to it, it has been covered. But why the server? The server is also about the people. What is the use of going to elections if we can never know the truth about how people voted? We were here in 2007, 2009, 2008. We were here in 2013. We were here in 2017. Now we are talking of 2022, 4 elections. Why do we never get to the bottom of the matter? Because we sweep the dirt under the carpet. This time round, no dirt under the carpet. Let us open the server and discover the truth. Reforms will be meaningless. Any reforms of the electoral system or IBC will be meaningless without first arriving at the truth. The server is about the people. It's about the people's voice. Those who think server is about power, yes, but power of the people. It is their voice that has been disregarded. So our demands are people-centered, starting with the very immediate about cost of living, and then about their voice. And remember, in our constitution, people are, the sovereignty belongs to the people. If their voice is disregarded, their sovereignty is being trampled upon. I just thought we needed to make those very little points, but very important, very, very clear. And I know somebody on the other side knows it, but they would like to hide behind such phrases of, oh, you want nusu. Now tell them we eat whole loaves. We don't eat half. Now, I have finished about the server. I would want to say that I think I have finished what I needed to say. I have it in so many words, but I think I have already made the point. I want to wish us good deliberations and to say we wish that the negotiations was in a forum like this where all of us can speak. But we know that that would delay the matter until Jesus returns. That is why we must have just a few delegates. Delegates who represent all of us, because we all can't go there. So just to appeal, let us believe in ourselves and in our collective knowledge that whoever is sent, collectively we will be behind them and we will be able to put the point across. Let us not be divided by who is sent. Unity is our strength, and unity of us as leaders and unity between us and the people we represent. I want to thank you.
Wacha tukaribishe His Excellency Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka.
Thank you. Wow. Ndio hiyo. Buffalo Soldier, ndio hiyo. Asante. Thank you. Thank you. We hear you. Our leader, Brother Raila Odinga, Sister Martha, members of Parliament, both houses, the National Assembly and the Senate, majority leaders, the speakers, governors, excellencies, the governors. Indeed, as we say, our protocol is observed. We meet today at Stonyadi against a backdrop of a national crisis. I once read a book whose title was A Man for All Seasons. And the Attorney General of the Republic at that time of the UK, Sir Thomas More, famously said that when it comes to matters of the law, he was a forester. And I want to say the stage at which we have reached, that of collectively putting the interests of this country together. I belong to that group, and I think I'm a forester. So it was really unfortunate that as a negotiator, as a peace promoter, I was hit so brutally by the Kenyan police. And the only crime was we decided to exercise our freedoms under Article 37 of our Constitution 2010, for which we fought. To get Constitution 2010, remember, this country was in conflict in 2007, 2008. We don't need to go into conflict again. And the roles of the police and the institutions of governance are established are very well documented. So if people don't cross the line, Kenyans will live peaceably with each other. But now it appears to us the time to remind us is now of the fact that it is wrong to capture state institutions. Capture state institutions. Capture the judiciary. Even the national, even Parliament itself, as you know, has been under capture. This is why we are saying we use this opportunity to reinstate and stamp firmly authority on multi-party democracy. That you don't go poaching members who don't belong to you and pretend that you are acting democratically. So that is a very important matter in the terms of reference that were read by Brother Raila Odinga. And I firmly associate myself with those wonderful remarks. We thought we could then call you at that level so that all this information gets properly cascaded to the lowest levels of our leadership. So nobody will leave Stonyadi saying, what are those Azimio leaders talking about? Now we just want to infect you with the spirit of positive revolution and go out there. And if you have been feeling a little bit disadvantaged that you have not been out there eating tear gas, the next round, if it comes to that, you're most welcome. You're most welcome. Because then you understand. That's why we actually called you. You'll have understood. We will leave Stonyadi today, hopefully, with our team of negotiators. But along the lines that my friend Raila and our sister Mother have elaborated, we are not just being difficult, we're just being realistic. We don't want to be seen to be holding hostage the process where we have come to. And it took a lot of reflection, introspection, commitment by our leader to get to this place, to get to this stage. So we want you then, as our leaders at your respective levels, to please stand and be counted. For those of you who are Christians, and I think our brothers and sisters in Muslim world, we also take this time to wish you Happy Easter. I know to the Catholics today is a critical moment, as our sister prayed. that Jesus Christ will arise, and he arises, he should arise. We pray that he arises with all of us in our place, and our Muslim brothers as well. Therefore, Christian soldiers, remember the words of the hymn, stand up for Jesus. Ye soldiers of the cross. And hold on that banner. It must never suffer loss. This Azimio banner should not suffer loss. So what you are saying, and I conclude quickly to allow my brother Eugene to say something, and of course Johnny and Paranya, because it's important we speak to the media. The brutality we show against the media, free media, cannot really go and condemn. An attempt was made to say, oh, we believe in the freedom of the media. 25 of them were hurt, and some are still in hospital. We thank our friend Raila for going to visit with those who survived these bullets and terrible tear gas canisters. And remember the women in Pipeline and in Mathare, in Kawangware, who were actually pouring water. And in those areas, to get a 20-liter jerrycan of water is a very serious sacrifice. And they poured it so that at least the tear gas will not kill us. We need to give them a clap. I used to be critical of us in the political world trying to make gospel songs part of our struggle, but I now believe it completely. Because then those who composed these things that time were dealing with the situation at the time. So when they say stand up and be counted, I think it is appropriate. Therefore, if you come to negotiate, we want to tell the other side, please do so with a clean spirit. Don't come with the hidden machetes. Put everything on the table. I'm quite sure the team we are going to put out today will not take into account Wiper, ODM, DAP. We just want to get our best negotiators. And let's actually give them all the support. Let's not make it subject to, I'm left out, I should have been there. Well, yeah, and of course the only condition is please refer to the leadership. When you get out there, as Mother said the other day in another forum, and we see your body language is changing, we'll recall you. Unapologetically. Because we want nothing but the best for this nation. And the truth which Raila referred to, the truth being Jesus Christ about this time, will set all of us free as a nation. Therefore, the server being open, if one is clear that they want, in fact, all the more reason to say, let this thing be done. But before we open the server close, don't gerrymander it with it. Don't. Because the footprints are firmly established and we will know. So these truths are important. And the nation then must move on from here. I am sorry I've spoken for longer than I wanted. But I want to thank our governors for finding the time. You guys are good. You are important to this movement. And my senior brother Jim also is there with us. And we want to ask even those who were not quite sure. I gather Governor Ovinya is on the way coming. Let all of them come and we move together. Let's move together. Yeah? Kwa hivyo mimi yangu ni hayo tu. But when somebody was praying that we are fewer, I think it was our brother from Changamwe. This is a very strong jeshi. Hebu angalia hii. Anybody who is not here is on the wrong side. For sure. So tutoke hapa na hiyo roho tu ya ushindi. Ushindi mtupu, and farm our democracy. Thank you so much. Eugene.
Thank you very much, our host, Stephen Sioka. Fellow Azimio leaders, may I start by thanking you and saluting you and the people of Kenya, particularly the Azimio supporters, who over the last few days and few weeks came out in their numbers. They were able to bear the brunt of police brutality. Some lost their lives, and one of them was a student from Maseno University. And I want to thank Governor Nyong'o and Governor Simbarati. They were there. They stood with the family. Asante. But also to say that where we are after a journey of tear gas and great police brutality, I just wanted to caution that we are only on a commercial break. We have just taken a stop in a journey. So don't let your guard down. We are not yet there. Until the price of unga comes down, we are not yet there. Until the high cost of electricity comes down, we are not yet there. Until school fees comes down, we are not yet there. Until fuel comes down, we are not yet there. Until the server opens and we know the truth, we are not yet there. So, what has happened is a gesture which we want to believe is in good faith and goodwill in terms of stopping the process of reconstitution of IEBC and allowing a bipartisan process. And I want to agree with Honorable Martha Karua that talking about the national code is not about going back to the Nusumukati government. It's about arriving at an accord. An accord is an agreement between parties negotiated freely without coercion or otherwise. So we want a fair process that will give us an accord that will now be brought to Parliament for ratification by the House. So that clarification must be taken. We don't want a Nusumukati government because already the Kenya Kwanza government is a Nusumukati government. Because when Rigathi Gachagua has already said, hii ni serikali ya shareholders. Na ukiangalia vile hiyo serikali imeundwa, si shareholders ni wawili, si wanajulikana. So it's already a Nusumukati government. We don't want to be party to it. We only want justice to be done. We want the truth to be known. And ultimately, I want to ask you in the words of the great poet Robert Frost, where a traveler stopped in the woods, and the woods were dark and lovely, and he almost got comfortable. But he said, we still have miles to travel and promises to keep. So even as we take this stop, this break, and enter into this space of negotiations, we still have miles to travel and promises to keep to the people of Kenya who can't put food on the table, whose children in the university now don't have help, and they are crying out. Children have been left out of secondary schools. And these are the promises we must keep even as we travel this journey. For the media, as we salute our Azimio supporters, we must salute you. We heard the DP Gachagua say, ati media nyinyi ni watu wetu. Walisema media nyinyi ni watu wa Azimio. But we want to tell you, you are our people because we have no intentions of crushing you. We don't want to crush you like the other side. You are our partners, and the free media is the cornerstone of our democracy that we are fighting to protect. May I take this opportunity to call my brother, the Honorable Kioni, to come and say a word, and since he's away, the Honorable Wycliffe Ambetsa of Paranya. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Our party leader, the other principals, ladies and gentlemen. I will be very brief. First of all, I want to thank you for sparing time to come here today. I knew we had very short time since we were approaching Easter. But we thought it would be important to talk to you as fast as possible before Easter. And we thought the easiest people to call were the group that is here. Let others who have been with us all along think that we have forgotten them. We are organizing, as you know, the family of Azimio had over 28 parties. Some of them never managed to have members of parliament. But in one way or another, they have representation at the county level. We are going to invite all of them because they have been part of this process so that we are able to brief them what we have done. I want also to take this opportunity to thank the leaders that are here. The leaders who are here, they have really spent their time the last 2 months sleeping late, planning how to go with the maandamano. They have gone through tear gas. The worst of it was last Thursday. Was it Thursday or Monday? Thursday. That was the worst. That I thought that day we were going to lose our party leader here. Because I saw live bullets being aimed at him. If he was not in an armored car, he would have been no more. And that day, we were using Eugene Wamalua's vehicle. Wamalua left and joined Kalonzo in the other car, and I suspected Kalonzo had an armored car. So he was running away from us. And true to it, our vehicle was smashed. We were with the Olekina here. It was smashed by a fellow who removed a knife. He wanted to stab Olekina. But what saved us is that our driver was a policeman and he had a gun. So it's when he removed the gun, pointed at the man, and the man ran away. Because also Olekina will be no more. Because he was just very close to him. We have gone through those processes. These people you see here have sacrificed. Some of you know. So you need to clap for them. This is a journey that we have to do together. But lastly, our party leader has gone through the key issues. Others might arise as we move on with the negotiation. But so long as the server is not open, we will not have sorted the problem of election injustices in this country. Because we have had disputes before. 2007, 2008, you remember how many people we lost. We lost over 1,000 people in this country. 2013, it was the same. 2017 is the same. 2022, same. So we don't need this again in 2027. And you have been given an opportunity to sort out this. And in any disease, if a doctor has to treat it, he must know what disease you are suffering from. He must carry out tests to know before he subscribes the medicine you have to choose. So that's why you are saying that if we have to come up with proper laws that will help us have free and fair election in future, the server must be open. And secondly, the issue of cost of living. And these two are the most critical. Others can be added here and there. But these two are critical. Because sorting out the issue of cost of living is the easiest. You just reintroduce subsidies and people will be stable for the few months until we have harvesting, which will come in the next 3 or 4 months. We'll have enough. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to appreciate you as the chairman of the Executive Council of Azimio, that this is a journey that we must be together, and I thank very much, having been a former governor, the governors who have worked with us up to this moment. They have supported us, and you people must keep supporting us so that we are able to achieve our objective. Kwa hayo machache, Bwana Kioni, karibu na wewe useme yako ya huko na kule Central unaongea, karibu. Unakuanga na kitabu.
I think we just reiterate what others have said, what the leaders have said, led by our party leader, Raila Odinga. Those are issues that are familiar to us. But maybe one of the other things is that as we deal with the members of parliament who close the floor, I think we are also saying members of the county assembly. It is across everybody who has been elected on a ticket. You must remain faithful to that ticket for the term of your stay. The other thing that I think I need to mention is, as been mentioned again, if you are not in a technical team, either by name or by party or by from where you come from, that should not be picked as a point of pulling others down. We need to support the teams to the end. I'm seated there because that is where Uhuru was supposed to sit, and he is the one I was expected to come and talk. He has a right to be here. He has been made a subject by the other party, and even if you do not want him, he has been donated to us. It is upon us to say whether we want him or we don't want him to be sitting with us. But I believe that he is the chairman of the Azimio Council, and where we sit, he should come and be part of us. I believe nobody should say otherwise. The issue that I think we also agreed upon, which I want to beg of you, and since you are the ones who attend these talk shows, is the issue of the cost of living. UDA lied on every aspect of the cost of living. They said that the cost of unga has gone up because of the handshake, ya Baba na Uhuru. They said that the cost of fuel has gone up because the prices were fixed in a boardroom. And they said that immediately they take over, na Biblia wakiweka chini, na Baba na Uhuru waondoke kwa barabara, chakula itakuwa imerudi chini. So that cannot be an issue that we take to a committee. It cannot be a subject of the committees that we are forming. It is upon those who are in office, of course illegally, but they are the ones sitting and they are the ones making the policies to ensure that they make the policies to bring down the cost of living. We cannot allow that to become our burden. It is the burden of those who are controlling the coffers to ensure that the cost of living of Kenyans is reduced. And it should be a minimum. If we cannot see them reducing the cost of living and taking steps that can reduce the cost of living, then going to the streets becomes the only option that we have. You know, okay, let me get it. So, ni vizuri tuhakikishe kwamba Biblia ilishuka, lakini kama ilikaa juu, zakayo yako juu, uchuru iko juu, kila kiko. Those things cannot be part of our negotiating. They cannot be what we are going to sit and discuss. We cannot allow them to, we cannot agree to go and share in the problems that they should have solved. They lied when they were looking for votes. They must feel the cost of that lying. They have now said, and I think you remember, they said that the subsidies that were being given, pesa ilikuwa inaenda kwa mifuko ya wengine. Kama ilikuwa inaenda kwa mifuko ya wengine, na ilikuwa pesa ambayo ilikuwa inatoka kwa ushuru, hizo pesa zinaenda kwa mifuko ya kina nani sasa? Si watoe wapatie wa Kenya gharama ya maisha ishuke. And you must get that basic when you are going for those talk shows. If you become technical, you are selling us. I listen to some people, wanakuwa very technical. UDA does not want anybody technical. You just become naked like they are, as long as you are not insulting. But don't go and become technical in those discussions. Tell them, mulisema pesa iliingia kwa mfuko ya wengine. Sasa inaingia kwa nani? That's the language Kenyans understand. And we need the Kenyans to be with us on this journey. And as I conclude, I know also if we had done, we would also be having very many minority leaders in Jubilee. We have MCAs across the counties and are occupying minority seats. Let us bring everybody on board. Let us not recruit on behalf of UDA. When you leave a person who feels he was supposed to be here, you are literally recruiting him on the other side. I know a number of members of parliament from Jubilee misbehaved by even saying things they should not have said. But like we are saying, there are those who have actually said we were misled. Open up for them. If there was an Azimio group, get them back. Let us get as many people. Don't give them responsibility here. You may not give them the responsibility of reading us, but let us have them back on board. Because it doesn't... let me say this, because I want to say this for the record. And I want to say it for the last time. The number of votes that came from Mount Kenya to Raila Amoro Odinga. Tafadhali, kama wewe unapenda mzee, leader hiyo. Leader hiyo. The number of people who are in support of us because of those votes from that region, take care of them. When you see me here and you see Mother, I don't know whether Mother goes through the same thing. When you see me here coming from Mount Kenya and following Azimio, you are talking of wanting to kill you with a bullet. You should know I haven't slept home for so long when we are doing these things. We are also going through very difficult times, so we also don't want to see anybody trying to squeeze us out, because we are here by choice. Tafadhali, tuheshimiane kwa imani. Sorry, Bamba is the one coming next to speak for us.
I'm not going to speak for a long time. There's just one thing that I want to clarify now that the media is here. You saw Uhuru was in Kigali with President Kagame. Ruto was in Kigali with President Kagame 2 days ago, when a reporter asked him the question of what's happening here. Then he went to length to try to explain an issue called handshake. They don't want. This handshake has been in the mouths of these people for a long time. Oh, what was me wanataka tu msumukati, nataka handshake and so on. Now I want you guys to know where this handshake came from. In 2008, the country was burning. The international community tried to intervene. Then chairman of African Union, President Kufuor of Ghana, came here, talked to us, and talked to Kibaki side. Then they proposed to bring in a mediator. The Prime Minister of UK then, Gordon Brown, also called us. In the end, they proposed first Mr. Ramaphosa, who was rejected by the other side, that Ramaphosa was my friend. In the end, the name of Kofi Annan surfaced. As you see, most of those former President Kaunda was here, Mkapa was here, the former President of Botswana was here, Desmond Tutu was here, and so on. Then, in the end, the name of Kofi Annan came up and was then accepted to lead together with President Mkapa and Madame Graça Machel. Then it was agreed that each side appoints 4 to represent it. We were represented here by Honorable James Orengo, Mr. Salim Davadi, Mr. William Ruto himself, and Stanley Cosby. The other side was represented by Martha here. The other one was the late Mutula Kilonzo. The other one was Wetangula and Samungeri. This is the team that met at Serena Hotel and negotiated until there is agreed only on one issue of whether the accord should be entrenched in the constitution. This is when Kofi Annan came to me and to Kibaki and asked that we have a meeting. That meeting was chaired by Kofi Annan. President Kikwete was present and President Mkapa. We agreed on that issue. Once we agreed on that only issue, then we were ready now to sign the accord, which was signed and presented to Parliament. Now, William Ruto himself was involved in negotiating that accord. Now he says Raila is the author of accord. Then, in 2017, we went to court, and the Supreme Court nullified the elections and ordered a repeat. Then we said we went to IBC and we demanded certain reforms to be made before we participated in that election, because they said to go the same way with the same structure will not yield any different results. Doing the same thing the same way, expecting different results. When we then refused to go to elections, we asked our people to boycott. It was boycotted. From the statistics we have, only 17% of registered voters participated, because they came up with a small figure of 38%. Then there was stalemate. Then we said we had been cheated. Then we did the swearing in. Then the country was in a crisis. And it was Uhuru Kenyatta himself who looked for me. And we held lengthy discussions. And he admitted that he knows that he did not win. Because the number of people who went for the repeat were negligible. Then I said, I don't have to be the president of this country. If you agree that we can carry out reforms to ensure that the future elections will be free and fair, I'm ready to work together. And that is what we informed the MOU. It was not a secret. We appointed lawyers who spent time to prepare the MOU. And we changed it eventually. We agreed to sign that MOU. And that is when we went out of the office of the president and shook hands with Uhuru Kenyatta. That is the second handshake. But I said, we don't have to have a stake in government. ODM did not appoint a single minister in that government. Neither did we appoint even a permanent secretary or even head of any parastatal. We did not. That government remained exactly that, whatever it was, whether it was a coalition, but it was between Uhuru's side and Ruto's side, right throughout. So this idea that handshake is what caused problems with that government is hogwash. We did not participate in that government. All ODM members here know that we did not participate in that government at all. We did not appoint anybody. People who were appointed there were all there. But because they are in the government, they want to take credit for all the good things that that government did and blame everything that went wrong in that government on Uhuru Kenyatta. That is where we are today. Shame on them. So we ourselves, nobody should come and say that we all the time force people into cause trouble so that we need handshake. Justice Kriegler, who was appointed to come and lead a team to verify what happened in this country and how the elections were held. When he came to see me in my office, he told me, Mr. Odinga, I don't see my role here as trying to tell Kenyans who won that election. Any fool in this country knows who won this election. He was saying, I won those elections. But then, now these people keep on saying that we lost elections and we wanted a handshake. Shame on them. We did not lose the elections in 2007. Neither did we lose in 2017 or in 2013. Because they said, oh, always losing and complaining. We did not lose any of those elections. So I don't want to go much further than that. I just want to make that clarification for everybody else that handshake, one of the authors of handshake is none other than President Mr. William Samoei Ruto. The governor of Wajir is there. Where is he? It's going to be. He asked me to give him a chance to, because we want to leave to rush to Wajir. But if it's going for president, when he comes back, he will do that. Thank you very much. Now, Mr. Lee, you can continue.
Okay, let me invite Mr. Wainaina very, very briefly to say a word on behalf of Kanu. Then we shall come back to the tonight. Shortly.
Thank you, the leadership of Azimio. My name is George Wainaina, and I'm the Secretary General of Kanu. On behalf of my chairman and our members, and I can see some of them with us today, tunataka kuleta apology ya our chairman. I know eventually when you leave this workshop or this meeting, we'll have people who are going to negotiate for us on things that we have agreed. First, I want to say, for whatever reason that you are doing any negotiations and the law stand between what you are negotiating, please let us change the law. Tusije kama sheria inatusumbua, waja tutoke hapo. Now, because this government have done what they have done, makao umesema mshahara ijapatikana, even some MCAs of Kanu wananiambia wajapata. So I don't know kama vile uliwa na message watapata so that I can pass to them. Okay. Kwa hivyo asanteni sana because sitaki kuchukua muda. By the time we leave here, let us please have people who are soldiers who can fight for what we stand for. Thank you very much.
Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, to introduce myself again, I'm Ahmed Abdullahi, Governor of Wajir County, also double up as the Vice Chair of the Council of Governors. I explained to Baba yesterday that I'll come for the meeting, but I'll leave a bit early. I have a 2-day activity that I can't miss in the county, and I have a flight that I'm trying to ask